फास्टेस्ट क्रिकेट स्कोर अपडेट्स या सबसे डिटेल्ड स्टैट्स,
क्रिकेट के अंदर बाहर की खबरें
या हेल्दी डिबेट्स,
सबसे एक्यूरेट एनालिसिस
या फैंस का क्रेज, सबके लिए एक ही प्लेटफॉर्म, क्योंकि क्रिकेट मतलब क्रिकेट नेक्स्ट।
Hello and welcome to Cricket Next. मैं हूं सौम्य कपूर and we are a few days away from IPL. IPL का पहला मैच 22 मार्च को खेला जाएगा between CSK and Royal Challengers Bangalore, while Delhi Capitals and KKR will be starting their campaign on the second day of the tournament, that is 23rd March. Delhi Capitals will be playing Punjab Kings in Chandigarh, while KKR will be playing SRH in Kolkata. Well, खुश खबरी है कि ऋषभ पंत वापस आ चुके हैं। श्रेयस अय्यर जो जिन्होंने पिछला सीजन मिस किया था वो वापस आ चुके हैं। हिल बी लीडिंग केकेआर। क्या अपॉर्चुनिटीज हैं, क्या चैलेंजेस हैं इन दोनों टीम्स के लिए, आज इसके बारे में बात करेंगे विद जेमी वॉल्टर, कनप वाली एंड के श्रीनिवास राव। वेलकम टू क्रिकेट नेक्स्ट एवरीवन। Ashwini, I'll start with you. You know how good it is to see Rishabh Pant who is gearing up to get back on the field. Officially announce नहीं करा है कि वो लीड करेंगे या नहीं, but how good it is as a cricket fan.
Yeah, so just forgive my voice. I have a very bad throat. All right, so you know, I've said this earlier also that the moment you talk about Rishabh, mind goes back to those images that flashed, on the day when that unfortunate incident happened, the accident. So the images of the car in the early morning, the VRs, cut to the images from the hospital, where he was earlier first rushed, before he was the air ambulance brought him to Bombay. Those images, मैं अगर देखूं, and now in hindsight, to think that exactly in a year, this boy is not just back on his feet, but he's back to actually playing professional cricket.
Yeah.
He's nothing short of a stunning comeback. And I don't know when exactly in recent history, in any sport actually, have I seen a comeback of this proportion. So I'm really happy for this kid. He's MVP. He's been India's MVP in Test cricket. Time will tell whether he can go back to being the cricketer that he used to be. But I'm happy that he's back in the game, and I don't think this there should be any expectation from him. Let him just kind of settle down, and that's why I think Delhi is also kind of taking it easy, not really, putting him at the front. So I think that's a good call.
Yeah. Jamie, what do you think? कि क्या दिल्ली कैपिटल्स अभी इस सीजन में उनको कप्तानी देना चाहेगी जस्ट बिकॉज ऑफ द वर्कलोड की अभी एक बहुत बड़े गैप से वापस आए हैं एंड ऑब्वियसली इट इज नॉट कि कोई एक नॉर्मल इंजरी था, इट वाज अ वेरी हॉरिफिक एक्सीडेंट जो कहीं ना कहीं एक नॉर्मलाइज करने में अगर आप माइंड सेटअप की मैं बात करूं तो वो नॉर्मलाइज होने में भी थोड़ा टाइम लगता है, तो उतना एक प्रेशर देना चाहेगी दिल्ली कैपिटल्स या दे वुड जस्ट आस्क हिम टू जस्ट गो एंड एंजॉय हिमसेल्फ, टेक द फील्ड एंड स्कोर सम रन्स क्विकली.
Yeah, it's a good question. I don't know what the answer is for every single thing that you said and what Shini rightfully said कि हमने देखा नहीं. चलो क्रिकेट छोड़ो, हमने स्पोर्ट में एटलीस्ट रीसेंट मेमोरी में ऐसा हॉरिफिक एक्सीडेंट के बाद किसी को इतना जल्दी वापस आते समय नहीं देखा. And we discussed it earlier कि perhaps we expected कि वो as a batsman आएंगे, but he's been cleared to keep wickets, which is a massive achievement, not just for the guy who's gone through hell and back, but for the staff at the NCA, so I don't know. I mean, traditional viewpoints are कहेंगे नहीं उस पे captaincy का बोझ मत डालो, but on the other hand, I mean, this is a guy like he's a maverick, he's a goat in test. ज़्यादा burden, ये ज़्यादा pressure ऋषभ पंत लेता नहीं है, so maybe they'll be like, you know what, let's just welcome him back and make him feel, just in case there was any doubt, let's make him feel like he actually has not been away for 15 months. Sorry. 15 months. Keeper number 4, his best spot in T20s, at least जहाँ पे franchise की बात करें, और फिर leader. I would assume that. Now, if you want a more logical explanation, मैं अगर इनका squad देखूँ ना, और कोई है नहीं. I know Mitchell Marsh is going to captain Australia at the World Cup, but IPL में I don't think franchise, and the same franchise, they also represent Rishabh Pant. So they definitely have his best interests at heart. Had there been someone who was a natural leader या उनसे काबिल लीडर मैं बोलता हाँ सौम्या इसको बनाएंगे लेकिन they're not going to go back to David Warner. पृथ्वी शॉ तो मेरे हिसाब से 11 में नहीं होने चाहिए. और कोई लीडर है नहीं तो it's a tricky one, but I'm willing to bet that Rishabh Pant will just say, you know what, मेरे को दे दो और मैं कुछ करके दिखाऊंगा because he's just that fantastic a player यार.
Yeah. Okay, Kanav, I agree कि player probably खुद से वो onus लेना चाहता है, that is commendable. But taking it to the seeing it as a practical note, क्योंकि हमारे अगर आप इंडियन टीम की बात करें तो इंडियन टीम के मैं सिर्फ रेड बॉल की बात करूंगा. रेड बॉल में भी आपके यू हैव टू ट्रैवल टू ऑस्ट्रेलिया. उससे पहले आप 5 मैच बांग्लादेश और न्यूजीलैंड के अगेंस्ट यहाँ पे खेल रहे हैं. तो कहीं ना कहीं अगर वो फिट हो रहे हैं तो आपको वो कंसिडरेशन में लेके चलना पड़ेगा. आई एम नॉट सेइंग ही कैन बी इन द रैंकिंग स्ट्रेट अवे. थोड़ा सा क्रिकेट खेलना पड़ेगा जस्ट फॉर द जस्ट टू गेट इनटू दैट ग्रुप. तो प्रॉब्ली शायद वो बीसीसीआई नहीं चाहेगा कि आईपीएल में उतना रिस्क ले. व्हाट डू यू हैव टू से?
नहीं बिल्कुल. when Rishabh Pant comes back you also have to think about the rest of the year as to his red ball, especially his red ball commitments. New Zealand, Bangladesh, and then the all important Australia series. It's quite far right now, but these are the baby steps now into the international cricket that he's taking back. Now talking about the captaincy stuff के आते ही captaincy देना, for me I personally feel that उनका पहला match will be too overwhelming for him, can be too overwhelming for him because आप 15 महीनों बाद आ रहे हो to get that एटमॉस्फेयर सिंक इन, वो लाउडनेस, वो शोर, वो मैच का जो भी प्रेशर होता है, एड्रेनलिन आपका हाई हो जाता है, उसके बीच में टू हैव हिम टेक कैप्टेंसी डिसीजंस, वो अपने आप को भी थोड़ा ओवरवेलम होंगे, उसमें टीम को भी संभालना. बट आल्सो आई एग्री विद जेमी, यू डोंट हैव एनी अदर ऑप्शन. ईदर यू थ्रो हिम इनटू द मिक्स कि यू स्टार्ट फ्रॉम वेयर यू लेफ्ट ऑफ, जहां से आप छोड़ के गए थे आप वहीं से शुरू कीजिए, आप कर सकते हैं. तो बैटिंग obviously there's absolutely no concern. दो concern है wicket keeping and captaincy. wicket keeping with his knee surgery के बाद do you want him to push to wicket keep? आप करिए wicket keep, तब तक आप कर सकते हैं अगर आपकी knee allow कर रही है. There is a risk of aggravating those older जो injuries थी, but then I think Ricky Ponting, Delhi Capitals, they know what they are doing. If they obviously there's no official announcement, if they throw him into the captaincy mix, maybe they have had the discussion with Rishabh Pant, and अगर Rishabh Pant को हल्का सा भी लग रहा होता कि नहीं मेरे लिए खेलना ही थोड़ा ओवरवेलमिंग अभी हो जाएगा पहले कुछ मैचेस में, लेट मी नॉट टेक अप दोस ड्यूटीज जो काफी इंपॉर्टेंट होती है. आई फील ऋषभ पंत के साथ एक पेज पे रह के अगर उन्होंने डिसाइड किया है तो पंत इज रेडी बोथ मेंटली एंड फिजिकली.
ओके बट श्रीनी यहाँ पे एक पॉइंट और कंसिडर करना पड़ेगा दैट यू हैव टू प्ले 14 गेम्स एंड इफ यू मेक इट टू द प्लेऑफ्स एंड द फाइनल्स वो और बढ़ जाएगा. तो क्या आप वो बर्डन इतने मैचेस के लिए दे पाओगे या देना चाहोगे ऋषभ को, या उसमें बीसीसीआई का से होगा या नहीं? You're on mute. Shini, you're on mute.
ये 100% बीसीसीआई का से होगा. सी लेट मी बी वेरी ऑनेस्ट. यहाँ पे अभी मैं कुछ लोग कई लोग हैं जो क्रेडिट लेना चाहेंगे ऋषभ का कमबैक का. कई लोग हैं जो अरे देखो हमने ये कर दिया, हमने वो कर दिया. There are very specific people in the BCCI, extremely specific people at the National Cricket Academy who are single-handedly responsible for that boy being back to this thing. So and I would seriously think that just for the sake of publicity, people don't just rush forward to take credit where it is not really yours to take. Having said that, एनसीए और बीसीसीआई ने इतना काम किया है उसके पीछे, ऑब्वियसली वो ट्रैक तो रखेंगे उसका. एंड यहाँ कोई भी उसको रश नहीं करेगा. नो, एवरीबडी अंडरस्टैंड्स द ग्रेविटी ऑफ व्हाट दिस इज. यहाँ कोई सी वंस इन अ व्हाइल यू हैव टू अंडरस्टैंड इट्स आल्सो अ फील गुड थिंग. एंड आईपीएल है, आईपीएल इज आल्सो अबाउट ब्रांडिंग, इट्स आल्सो अबाउट पब्लिसिटी. it gives Delhi Capitals the kind of mileage that it wants. कि ऋषभ पंत हमारा MVP जो है वो वापस आ रहा है, so it gives Delhi Capitals that kind of a canvas. तो उनका जो sponsor है, he will feel good about participating, associating with Delhi Capitals. Let's not read too much into all these things. Much of this happens to build up the tournament, which is absolutely fine. There is no harm with it. और रही बात खिलाने की, कोई इतना बेवकूफ नहीं है that if his body is not kind of ready for a particular kind of work load, I mean, somebody is going to push him into it. No, that's not going to happen. I think people have been already way too sensible about most things, and I think they're going to continue being sensible.
Okay. Jamie, coming to a very practical point of the wicket keepers in Delhi Capitals squad. Okay, Kumar Kushal is a brilliant player. You know, he made it to the India A side as well. A very good batsman as well. Abhishek Porel hasn't impressed that much, लेकिन decent है वो. Do you think DC has missed out on a on a point कि जहां वो ऑक्शन में शायद एक और एक्सपीरियंस प्लेयर को एज अ एक्सपीरियंस विकेट कीपर बैटर को ला सकते थे टीम में just
Absolutely,
to
I
have
think they're
that
not.
yeah
हाँ
go
हाँ
ahead.
नहीं नहीं, I mean look, we saw ना कि last season जब they tried Porel, they got Sarfaraz Khan to keep one match, two match, you know, ऐसा नहीं है कि इनको 2 हफ्ते पहले मालूम पड़ा कि oh, Rishabh Pant is not
Yeah.
there. They went through a whole IPL season without Rishabh Pant. So I would have assumed that there was enough. जब auction हुआ था, you may be on WhatsApp groups, you may be on direct landlines getting updates, but you could not plan an IPL के Rishabh Pant will keep. तो
Yeah.
क्यों उन्होंने इस ऑक्शन में अच्छे खासे कीपर्स को नहीं, I'm not saying ये लोग लायक नहीं है, but there's a reason why franchises do not go. I mean, Shivas Goswami was probably one of the few keepers who still kept over a longer duration. Normally, ये senior keeper के पास जाते हैं. मुझे ऐसा कोई याद नहीं है. Even Dhruv Jurel, he doesn't keep for Rajasthan Royals, right?
Yeah.
तो अनफॉर्चुनेटली एक टैग लग चुका है ऐसे कीपर्स करके, भैया आप लोग स्मैट तक ही ठीक हो. सो इट्स, आई जस्ट थिंक जो भी है, दे आर नॉट गोइंग टू गेट अ लॉन्ग रन. आई मीन कौन सा ऐसा आईपीएल फ्रेंचाइज है? आई रिमेंबर Kolkata got Dinesh Karthik. If not Dinesh Karthik, they got Sheldon Jackson. They don't go toward these youngsters the way that the way the DC or Delhi Daredevils back in the day, the way they gave this boy a leap of faith when he was young. कि तू कर ले. अभी ऐसा, I might be wrong, पर मुझे 10 टीम्स में ऐसा कोई दिखता नहीं है. कोई टीम, of course, धोनी है और पार्थिव पटेल है और डीके है. But I mean, I'm looking at it. Abhishek Porel, Tristan Stubbs. Apparently, he keeps wickets, but untested commodity है ना वो. तो unfortunately, खुदा ना खास्ता कुछ हो जाए ऋषभ पंत को,
So I'm
they'll be
asking
stuck.
on the basis of only the Indian keepers, not the overseas players, क्योंकि वहाँ कहीं ना कहीं आपको एक slot का भी problem आता है. क्योंकि
वो
आपको
है.
फिर
I
slot
mean,
भरना पड़ता है.
I don't see Abhishek Porel playing. हालांकि मुझे visually याद है कि उन्होंने एक मैच में he dived across second slip to take a catch. But बैटिंग उनकी बैटिंग क्या है डोमेस्टिक में? आई हैव नॉट हर्ड एनीथिंग. कुमार कुशागर का at least I've heard something, but again, Europe, I think he's 19 years and 57 days. If he was Rishabh Pant's status, I think we would have heard a lot more about him. Nothing against him, but I don't think he's in that league. So definitely, I think they missed a trick at the auction.
Yeah. Okay. Okay, Kanav, let's suppose that Rishabh Pant is there. He'll be leading the side and he'll be the keeper. Okay.
Yeah.
Let's talk about the first few games. Then what will be your 11 for those games? Or probably who will you bring as the overseas players first of all? वो 4 overseas कौन रह सकते हैं आपके लिए?
This is actually a very important thing because Mitchell Marsh being the all-rounder that Mitchell Marsh is, he has to be there. Nokia has often done well for DC, so I have Nokia as the fast bowler, and David Warner opens, and David Warner, Prithvi Shaw, we have seen that combo opening. So there are 3. Now the fourth one is either you have Lungi Nagidi along with Nokia if you want 2 pace options. The fourth one is actually a tricky part for me.
No, Ngidi is out. Ngidi has been ruled out. He was injured.
He's
He got
out.
injured and he's out. So
I
they got
think
that batsman from Australia, the quick the
Jake Fraser McGurk. But हमने कल डिस्कस किया ना, आपने एक बॉलर को रिप्लेस किया ओपनर से.
exactly.
कहाँ का लॉजिक है यार ये?
Exactly.
Yeah. The fourth one is tricky. You have Tristan Stubbs, you have the likes of Shai Hope as a wicketkeeper. You were talking about the Indian wicketkeeper options, but they have Shai Hope if you want to appoint him as a wicketkeeper and then fill one slot. But the three overseas players that I think are the starters are Warner, Mitchell Marsh, and Rick Nokia.
Okay. But Srini, अगर आपके पास यहाँ पे options कम हैं for the overseas players, that gives you an edge as well. क्योंकि impact player फिर आप एक player लेकर आ सकते हो overseas का just as per your convenience.
बिल्कुल. और लास्ट सीजन में भी हमने देखा franchises not really going gung-ho about going in with 4 overseas cricketers.
Yeah.
They were more and more getting dependent, and impact player obviously has added a lot to that space. But before I get to any of that, I'm not very confident of Warner having a full stint with DC. He's been slightly out of form and out of shape and out of touch and out of relations, and a lot is going on in that universe. A lot is,
Okay.
yeah. So, everything was not very hunky dory when Delhi Capitals played the ILT20, and
Okay.
there were some people in the team management who were not really happy with the way David Warner, kind of applied himself
Hmm.
during that this thing. So things are not really very good. But maybe for lack of choice, maybe desperation may kind of force hands. But that said, between Warner and DC, things are not really very good.
Okay.
That said, impact player obviously adds a lot, and I don't think there is a need to play four foreigners anymore. For the kind of this thing. और हाँ, मैं चाहूंगा कि डीसी ट्रिस्टन स्टब्स को यहाँ पे मौका मिल नहीं रहा था. अब वो ट्रांसफर विंडो में वहाँ गया है. It's a great opportunity for them to try it out. Young
Hmm.
fellow has great potential in this format. So I'm hoping they give youngsters a chance, see if they can build it for the future.
Okay. Okay. So, Jimmy, we are going in for now. We are going in with three overseas players, which includes for now David Warner, Mitchell Marsh, and who was the
Nokia.
third one? Nokia.
Nokia.
Okay. Now, what can be your first 11 if you are batting first? Let's take it that way. If you're batting first,
Again, I got the score. I don't see any openers. Halanke Prithvi Shaw, I'm keeping my hopes low from him, but it'll be Shaw, Warner, March 3 पे खेलेंगे, Prithvi Shaw
yeah.
4 पे. उसके बाद like Srini said,
Prithvi
na,
Shaw is opening now. Yeah.
he'll open. So Shaw, Warner will open. Number 3
Yeah.
will be Mitchell Marsh,
Mitchell
and
Marsh.
4 is your Shaw.
Pant.
Sorry,
Pant.
Pant. ये आपके locked है. अब like Srini said, आपने Harry Brook के बदले you've not got anyone. You've got that Jake Fazenberger, but problem is untested opener. ऊपर से he's another prime candidate for a BBL sensation जो यहाँ आके नहीं कर पाया कुछ. I'll give him some room. नहीं खेला है. इनसे बहुत बड़े प्लेयर क्रिस लिन, मिस्टर BBL, never really barring half a season, he never cracked the IPL, right? तो foreigners, Shea Hope को अगर आप खिला रहे हो, आपको उनसे ओपनिंग कराना पड़ेगा. You could, if Prithvi Shaw doesn't click in 5 matches, you could say, Shaw, thank you for all the fish. We're going with Shea Hope. Problem is, 4 के बाद ना, I don't see a strong middle order. I will have to go for Lalit Yadav. I will have to bump up Akshay Patel to number 6, which is not ideal. उसके आगे यश धुल कहां, वो टॉप 3 में खेलेगा, क्योंकि आपने अपने सारे अंडे उस प्रोवर्बियल बास्केट में डाले हैं जहां पे शॉ, वार्नर, पंत और मार्श आपके टॉप 4 है ना. तो you're just too top heavy. रिकी भुई नाम सुना है बहुत, पर कहां फिट होगा वो. So you're going to now get into those all-rounders. Lalit Yadav, Akshay Patel will have to play every single match क्योंकि आपके पास ऑप्शन नहीं है. Bowling में Nokia, Kuldeep, Ishant will make full use of the impact player just like last year. He'll bowl 4 in a row. He'll take his cap off and he'll walk. Mukesh Kumar खेलेंगे, Praveen Dubey, Khalil, फिर आप Jai Richardson. He's your only option. नगीडी बाहर गया, आपने नगीडी की रिप्लेसमेंट नहीं, आपने Jai Richardson को लिया. His track record, he's had 4 comebacks in the last 5 years. He's a good bowler. He's a damn good bowler. लेकिन भाई वो ऑस्ट्रेलियन क्रिकेट में हर 4 मैच के बाद वो बंदा घायल हो जा रहा है. So I'm struggling to give you a viable first 11 for DC.
But Jimmy, Swastik Chikara is also there.
Again, I don't know. I don't. Point ये इनके पास untested इतने हैं कि are you going to give them all a chance? ये top 4 की टीम तो दूर से नहीं लग रही है यार.
Okay. In that case, Kanav, do you think Kumar Kushal can make it to the 11? Because थोड़ा सा we have heard about him, we have seen him, जो domestic थोड़ा बहुत अभी follow करके आए हैं, जिन्होंने इंडिया follow करा, थोड़ा सा उसे देखा है, decent keeper as well. अगर जरूरत पड़ जाती है कीपिंग करने की, तो क्या वो मिडिल ऑर्डर में can he make a place for himself?
No, absolutely. It ultimately boils down to whether Rishabh Pant will keep on keeping wickets for the 14 matches. ठीक है, start भी करते हैं. Maybe 1-2 matches के बाद he feels यार this is not the right time. I should take some time before I go back into wicket keeping, then it's a perfect option. But as Jamie said, that apart from the 4-5 fixed options that we know who are proven match winners for DC, others are all untested. So might as well go with Kushagar if you feel the need somewhere midway through the season. If you feel the need, you are testing all the other players. So if you have the potential, and also it ultimately boils down to the form that a player has in practice games, in net practice, if it's hitting well, if the ball is hitting his middle of the bat, वो groove है batter का, तो you might as well try that player as well. But ultimately it again boils down to whether Rishabh Pant is able to keep wickets for the 14 matches एक साथ or not.
Yeah. ओके ओके, बट श्रीनी, ये बात थी जब ऋषभ पंत द कैप्टन आपके पास अवेलेबल है, like he is fit, he is there, he can keep wickets, he can lead the side. What if he is not able to, lead the side for now, and he says कि यार ठीक है, मैं as a batter I'll be more efficient to play. फिर आप कैप्टनसी किसे दोगे और आप टीम में किसको लेकर आओगे?
See, first of all, in this format, I really wouldn't give too much importance to captaincy. It's आपको, मतलब आप टेस्ट क्रिकेट नहीं खेल रहे हो कि आप पूरा सेशन प्लान करना है आपको. आपका कैप्टन, आप दो स्पेल बदलो, इतने में आपका आधा इनिंग्स खत्म हो जाता है. ठीक है, तो आपको जो भी डिसाइड करना है वो पहले स्ट्रैटेजी ब्रेक तक तो आप पहले ड्रेसिंग रूम से डिसाइड करके आते हो. ऊपर से it is kind of the pace at which it is leaning towards football, where the coach is more like a manager who's standing at the boundary, like kind of marshalling the resources. तो एक रिकी पॉन्टिंग है बाहर, वो देख रहे हैं वहां से, वो गेम फॉलो कर रहे हैं, तो उस पर मैं ज्यादा ध्यान नहीं दूंगा. तो वो कैप्टनसी ऋषभ अगर नहीं है 11 में तो बात अलग है, बट 11 में है, इवन इफ एज ए बैट्समैन वो खेल रहे हैं, तो कैप्टनसी उन्हीं के पास रहेगी. और मैं पहले वो वार्नर के बारे में कह रहा था, बट बाद में जब मैं सोच रहा था तो मैं दिल्ली के पास चॉइस नहीं है. फॉर लैक ऑफ चॉइस शायद उनको वार्नर के पास वापस जाना ही पड़ेगा. तो क्योंकि आई डोंट नो व्हाट इज द काइंड ऑफ फॉर्म दैट पृथ्वी इज इन शॉ, और वो किस टच में है, किस मूड में है, किस टेम्परामेंट में है.
डिसेंट फॉर्म, ही स्कोर्ड रन्स रिसेंटली, थोड़े बहुत रन्स उन्होंने करे हैं अभी रेड बॉल, बट रेड बॉल
वो बनाता है, ये लड़के में टैलेंट तो कूद के भरा है. रन की कमी कहाँ है? तो रन तो वो बनाता ही है, बट देन ऐसे लाइक भाई, तो पृथ्वी डेविड, तो मेरे को अगर मैंने 11 अभी पकड़ के चलना है, तो मुझे तो लगता है कि वन ऑफ द ओवरसीज प्लेयर्स ट्रिस्टन स्टब्स आएगा ही आएगा 11 में.
ओके,
उसकी जगह बनती है. और आप जितने गोरों को, फास्ट बॉलर को, बाहर के ओवरसीज प्लेयर्स को, फास्ट बॉलर को खिला लो, उतना आप सॉर्टेड हो. आप एंड्री रॉन्जे है आपके पास, प्लस जेमी वाज मेंशनिंग अबाउट रिचर्डसन,
Jai Richardson, पर वही है, एक ही है श्रीनी, मुश्किल है.
You've lost Angiri. I mean, that's a huge setback. I mean, the guy is a match winner, like absolute match winner. तो वो उसकी जगह अब आपको थोड़ा बहुत है. अदरवाइज जो बचा है, और मिशेल मार्श इज द अदर ओवरसीज गाय. बाकी तो अराउंड दैट आई थिंक व्हाट जेमी had mentioned is the same 11. खलील खेलेगा शायद 100%. Khalil will be part of this.
You need a left arm pacer.
Yeah, Khalil seems to be like a Delhi favorite also. पता नहीं रिकी पॉन्टिंग का फेवरेट है या किसका है, बट है वो लड़का. तो Khalil खेल जाएगा. And yeah, I think more or less, I mean, they don't have much of a choice and much of a room to wriggle.
True. Jamie, same question आपसे पूछूंगा. Let's suppose Rishabh is not there for as a captain, and he's more of comfortable playing as an impact player, just being there, taking some balls, scoring some runs, and that is it. Then what do you do? Do you think they can go to Mitchell Marsh in that case? If what Srini was saying, अगर हम options की बात करें, if not David Warner and Pant is not there, can they go back to Mitchell Marsh? Can they go to Mitchell Marsh?
Yeah, look, see, he captained in South Africa briefly जब वो नहीं है. He's captained a couple T20 series bilateral, और अब तो खबर है कि वो T20 World Cup में lead करेंगे. So if you want him to do a dry run before the T20 World Cup, which probably will not have any direct bearing on how Australia does, but अगर देखो रिकी पॉन्टिंग वहां पे है, ठीक है, David Warner is there, David Warner is captain, he's been around, so he might be a good sounding board. अगर वो Shane Watson is not there anymore. Na? Shane Watson has moved on. कि वो भी है.
Shane Watson, I guess he's moved on.
He was there till
He's moved
last
on.
season because
Till last
those
season, yeah.
visuals of
Yeah.
of him and Amare are unforgettable. Let's say that David Warner and Ponting have a discussion. It could very well. Look, Mitchell Marsh he might be inexperienced at the Australia level, but I think he could be a good option. पर वही है ना, अगर बंदा फिट रहता है ना तो भाई ये 500 रन और 15 से 18 विकेट वाला प्लेयर है, यू नो,
Player है.
बिकॉज ही इज अ गन ऑलराउंडर. उसको बॉल दे दो, उसके पहले ओवर में आएंगे 16 रन, लेकिन दूसरे में वो विकेट लेगा. ही इज लाइक दैट, यू नो, शेन वॉटसन टाइप. धोनी एट सीएसके यूज्ड टू बोल हिम 2 ओवर में 24, लेकिन तीसरे ओवर में he'd get 2 wickets and the match would change. Mitchell Marsh is potentially that Shane Watson level player. But again, do you want to burden him as well? I don't know. It's just overall वही बात है कि बहुत वीक लग रही है मुझे ये टीम ऑन पेपर if Pant doesn't come back to his full capacity.
Yeah, true. So Delhi Capitals के पास बहुत सारी चीजें हैं सॉर्ट करने के लिए. I'll now move on to the Kolkata Knight Riders, क्योंकि उनके पास जितना प्रॉब्लम है, उनके पास जितना कंफ्यूजन है, वो किसी के पास नहीं है. Because they have a Sunil Narine and an Andre Russell to fit into the 11. Because if you have them in the squad, you will have to fit them in the 11. तो आप किसे खिलाओगे और किसे बाहर रखोगे? That is a task for them. And I'll start with you, Kanav. कैसे मैनेज करोगे इतने सारे ओवरसीज प्लेयर को आप?
I mean, it's a problem of plenty for KKR, which actually is a problem many teams would love to have. But there are too many good overseas players. Andre Russell, Sunil Ryan, two of IPL greats, so to say. You can't keep them out. Then Mitchell Stark, itna paisa deke, you can definitely not keep him out. He has to play. He will be there. So these are the 3 fixed players. Now, Gurbaz at the open, he has scored runs while opening. He is a great asset to have with the bat at the top of the order. So I personally will go for Ramanullah Gurbaz at the top, and I believe my 4 overseas players for KKR will be Gurbaz, Russell, Narayan, and Mitchell Stark, because as I said, Russell and Narayan have given you results, or rather many teams over in the IPL. Mitchell Stark, again, there's no point keeping him out after giving so much money. He is also a great bowler, not that itna paisa diya. He can give you wickets at the start. And then Gurbaz, Afghanistan ke wo, he has also proven himself with the bat.
Yeah, totally. I agree to you कि अगर स्टार को इतना पैसा दिया तो लेना पड़ेगा. एंड्रे रसल और सुनील नारायण आपके ग्रेट्स हैं IPL के एंड T20 फॉर्मेट के. गुरबाज हैज बीन डूइंग रियली वेल फॉर यू, बट विद whom do you open with then? श्रीनी, आप वेंकटेश अय्यर को ऊपर लेकर आएंगे, बिकॉज देन यू कांट प्ले जेसन रॉय. श्रीनी,
हेलो,
या
जेसन रॉय है क्या?
Yeah,
नहीं, वो गया. Phil Salt has come.
Phil Salt is there.
Phil
So you have, so you also have a overseas player. Sorry, Phil Salt is there, but you can't open with him because you have 4 overseas already. So गुरबाज के साथ ओपन किसे कराओगे?
देखो, वेंकटेश अय्यर है. मेरे को तो और कोई चॉइस ही नहीं दिखता इनके पास.
Exactly.
एक ही चॉइस है, वो है वेंकटेश अय्यर. एंड वो अगेन सेम स्पेस एज डीसी. इनके पास भी ज्यादा रूम नहीं है रिगिल करने के लिए. वो किसने अभी मेरे ख्याल से कनव ने या किसी ने कहा, वो या शायद तुमने कहा कि लाइक वो कम मिचेल स्टार्क, इतना पैसा देके तो उसको बेंच पे बिठाओगे नहीं तुम. तो हारो या जीतो उसको तो खिलाओगे तुम. और खैर नाम भी बहुत बड़ा है. तो यू नो, ये आखिरी सीजन है केकेआर का, वो रसल और नारायण वाला कॉम्बो का. एंड दे विल मेक द मोस्ट ऑफ इट, एंड व्हाटएवर comes out of it, they live with it. So Gurbaz, again, this guy is a great addition, Phil Salt. But Venkatesh Iyer will open. Iyer साहब कप्तान है. Iyer साहब ज्वाइन कर लिए टीम को.
Shreyas Iyer, yes, he's joined the team.
He's joined the team.
Yeah,
Net switch कर रहे हैं.
There was this visuals of him reaching to Kolkata, I guess.
No, there was an event. There was an event.
There was an event.
The whole team. And Iyer was there.
Back बढ़िया है.
हाँ, अभी तक तो बहुत बढ़िया है.
The report that has come out is really, really interesting, which says that the doctor has cleared him, but they have advised him to not take a long stride.
Stretch, like stride मतलब लंबा.
ये कौन बोलता है ये सब? मतलब किसी ने बोला है ये ऑफिशियली किसी ने बोला है?
That are coming out.
हैं?
No, these are just the reports. These are just the reports.
हाँ, रिपोर्ट तो ये भी आ गई थी कि उसको बैक स्पैज़म में है और वो फाइनल रणजी ट्रॉफी फाइनल में थोड़ा उसको खिंच गई, तो पूरे डॉक्टर वॉक्टर मैदान में दौड़ पड़े। क्या चल रहा है? लाइक आई डोंट नो काइंड ऑफ। सो for me, like the KKR 11 pretty well picks itself. The one player to watch out for me is Rinku. The star. And yeah, as I said, Stark non-negotiable, and Nareen and Russell will play. The last opportunity for them to click. For a franchise they've been long associated with. Nitish Rana, obviously Gautam Gambhir's favorite, so picks himself. और बचा कौन है? वो दूसरा राना कौन है? There's another Rana ना?
Harshit Rana.
हाँ, वो राना भी खेलेगा.
Yeah. So I just figured out a 11. Jamie, I'll just read it out for you. Gurbaz is the keeper and the overseas player for you. Opening with Venkatesh Iyer. Shreyas at 3 with captaining the side. Nitish at 4. Rinku at 5. Andre is your second overseas player at 6, or Rinku at 6, and vice versa. Harshit Rana. Stark is your third overseas player. Sunil Narayan is your fourth. सुयश एंड सकारिया
11 हो गए.
हाँ 11 हो गए.
अच्छा.
या सो गुरबाज
वरुण चक्रवर्ती
slash because they were going for Suyash, so I guess they can go. Yeah, but again they will have to.
All the Kolkata Eden Garden matches, they're going to play all three spinners. These are three different superb spinners. That ground is bigger. You'll get caught on the boundary. It's a classical case of KKR, like Hyderabad, struggling home and away. KKR will play these three guys. Look, you can't leave them out. They've been your major thing. So I'm not sure if it'll be Sakaria or him. आप बाहर जाते हो, आप वहां खड़े जाते हो जहां पे आपको एक और पेसर चाहिए, फिर आपको most likely you'll have to drop one of the spinners. Narayan, that Neeraj Chopra का duplicate, क्या नाम है उसका? That boy, he's fantastic.
Suyash.
Oh, bye. He has to play, and Varun Chakravarti. But Stark is he's a World Cup winner. He's a multiple World Cup winner. He's a WTC winner. But यार 6 साल से IPL नहीं खेला है. T20 खेलते हैं, but it's a lot to expect of a guy who's coming back after 6 years at 24.5. He might be the leading wicket taker for the team, लेकिन इनको एक और बेहतरीन फास्ट बॉलर डालना पड़ेगा. I just want to rewind. Like last season, Venkatesh Iyer, because of power play, impact player, he was your opener. The other opener, they were changing it every second match, right? मैं कह रहा हूँ, हालांकि मुझे क्या फर्क पड़ता है where KK end up. Give that second opener 5 matches. उन्होंने लिटन दास से करवाया, उन्होंने गुरबाज से कराया, जेसन रॉय से कराया, सुनील नारायण से कराया, अनुकुल रॉय से कराया. Just stick to one guy, because if you don't give that guy, अच्छा अगर वो 4 मैच में 4 डक निकालता है फिर तो ठीक है. But I have a feeling their management, and hopefully Gautam Gambhir makes some changes, but they have too many options. They went through 5 openers in like 5 weeks. इससे IPL ट्रॉफी तो नहीं जीत पाएंगे ये लोग.
नहीं गंभीर के आने से बहुत फर्क पड़ेगा. You're right there.
I think so.
The guy is like, obviously it's a franchise that's dear to him, so he'll put his heart and soul. Tactically, he's a master. I mean, he's going to kind of make things work. One slight change. One added point. Phil Salt will play. Initially, तो उसको खिलाएंगे वो लोग. वो just
I think so, yeah.
Yeah, उसको खिलाएंगे. वो just fanfare फिर गंभीर सोच समझ के ही लाया होगा उसको. और वो ऐसे ही नहीं लेके आया उसको. तो there is a plan in place for Phil Salt, and I'm sure खेलेगा वो. And as I said, these guys don't really have much of a choice, so they have to make do with the best possible options that they have. ये champion है यार, गौतम गंभीर.
Kana, what do you think? Gambhir क्या? And the update is KKR have shared a reel जहाँ पे श्रेयस अय्यर practice करते दिख रहे हैं. क्या करना?
About Gambhir?
Yeah, about Gambhir. The kind of whatever he brings to the table. Like what are your
I
thoughts?
feel we'll see the effects on both the teams, also in Lucknow, because जहाँ से वो छोड़ के आया वहाँ पे भी थोड़ा वो पैराडाइम शिफ्ट आएगा. एक गंभीर जैसे जो टैक्टिशियन होता है वहाँ भी वो थोड़ा हिलेंगे, लेकिन KKR again, as Srini said, that this guy, he knows cricket inside out. He is a guy with brains. He's someone who doesn't go on emotions. उनको क्रिकेट की प्रैक्टिकल्स पे ज्यादा भरोसा है. He believes matchups. He believes कौन सा प्लेयर आपको कहाँ कैसा परफॉर्म करके दे सकता है. And when he backs a player, he truly backs a player as a mentor, as a coach. So I believe absolutely, like, and also here, when, as Srini said, when you have a personal connect with the team, he believes that what KKR did for him, what he did for KKR, that relationship was really really pure for both the parties here, KKR and Gambhir. And the fact that he has come home now, because वो KKR वापस जा रहे हैं, उसको अगर coming back home बोल रहे हैं, तो it shows what is the kind of relationship these two parties share. So I believe KKR will definitely do better as compared to the previous seasons.
Yeah. Okay, let's move on to the comments, please. Meanwhile, I'll request our viewers to post their 11 probable 11s as well for the board teams. आप भी हमें suggest कीजिए कौन-कौन players आ सकते हैं. Yeah, Srini sir, are there realistic chances of Pant going to T20 World Cup? Also, your take on reports of Virat getting dropped in World Cup? Just rumor, mongering or real?
पंत नहीं जाएगा यार T20. That is expecting too much. और एज अ बैटर, सिर्फ एज अ बैटर उसका जगह बनता नहीं है. तो सी IPL बहुत अलग होता है. एक IPL is also about branding, also about sponsorships, also about a lot of other things. But World Cup is a totally different ball game. हालांकि I don't agree with the way our selectors think, but पंत का नहीं जगह बनेगा.
Yeah, go ahead.
Really, the reports of Virat, I have not heard anything यार. Why should he? मतलब अभी तो आया है वो. He was not here. He just come back. Let him start the season ना. अभी से लोग बोल रहे हैं कि उसको ड्रॉप कर देंगे. मतलब on what basis? फिर उसको लेके क्यों आए तुम? Why after a year's break you got him back? I mean, that will be absolute stupidity. So either when you brought him back, I wasn't really of the view that you should have brought back Rohit and Virat. You had moved on. But now when you brought him back, respect it ना. फिर ना इधर का ना उधर का बीच में आप तंबू डाल के खड़े हो तो it doesn't make any sense.
Yeah. Okay, next one please. Introspect. Waiting for Pant's comeback. The biggest day will be when he comes back in the Test 11, slowly and steadily. Fingers crossed. Yes, Introspect. We are also hoping that he makes a comeback, and because he has been a very very important cog in that wheel in the Test fixtures for India.
मुझे पंत T20 वर्ल्ड कप में जाता है नहीं जाता है इससे कोई फर्क नहीं पड़ता. पंत टेस्ट क्रिकेट में वापस आए, वो मजा आया फिर देखने में.
And Srini also, just before that, unfortunate incident, अगर आपको याद हो तो white ball में उतना reckoning था नहीं पंत का because of the form. He was more of a test player for now. Before that, तो वो ठीक है. अब अपने को उधर ही focus करना चाहिए.
Of course.
Yeah. Next one, please. Ravi Shankar, this is the last year of Rishabh Pant in Delhi Capitals. He will play for CSK from next year. JB, would you like to take that? I mean, Ravi Shankar, the way he posts comments now, I just love that. ठीक है या नहीं वो एक अलग बात है.
ख्याली क्या है वो? ख्याली पुलाव. बहुत बढ़िया, बहुत बढ़िया.
Okay, next one please. मैंने सिर्फ इस रिएक्शन के लिए जेबी को दिया था एक और. If Delhi is continuously making mistakes in auctions, so do you see any accountability of Ricky Ponting, Karthik Goyal? That's a bit harsh, but yeah, that's a valid question actually. Kana, what do you have to say?
I mean, should be there. You are the head coach. You are taking decisions in the auctions. आपके कहने पे टीम बनती है, आपकी प्लानिंग से टीम बनती है. अगर results नहीं आ रहे, तो somehow, somewhere, you need to put the head coach in that position and ask him questions as to what was your plan and why didn't it work for the team for continuously for these many years.
JB, I would just like to add something on that. Like I would like to ask you, Ponting के साथ के वो Australia factor आता है because the moment there's a cushion of getting a player in, the Australian comes in. I'm not saying you can't get them, but आप एक जैसे एक फास्ट बॉलर की जगह एक बैट्समैन ले आए, उसको आप कहते हो I feel he'll be a very big player in the next few years across format. यार वो होगा ना यहाँ पे replacements करना. I mean, do I understand this? So do you think that Australia factor just creeps in?
No, it does, and I think we discussed this last year. I remember it was Shigi was saying, that he didn't think that Ricky Ponting would come back, and I was on the same page. But the fact that he's still here, and we already discussed how inka auction काफी average गया है. You're just putting all your eggs in too many players, and when they happen to be Australian players, वो आ जाता है. But again, I mean, look, Ricky Ponting won World Cups and he won Test series, but T20 में Ricky Ponting ने कुछ किया नहीं ना. So again, his age coincided with the जब T20 आया था तो वो थोड़े कम हो चुके थे. He had to step down midway in 2013. So I just feel like other big names who perhaps, without taking names, have not cracked the T20 code as coaches. It just says कि कहीं ना कहीं आपको एक pulse होना चाहिए. He might have been a great analyst. He might have been, like the biggest fighter, backs to the wall type player. But आप जब एक squad ठीक से assemble नहीं कर पाते, and I'm saying आज हम बात कर रहे हैं Ponting की, कल परसों we're talking about RCB. Look at RCB's team on paper. Who picks this squad, right? Ricky Ponting. Are you telling me that Virat Kohli has no say in what squad is assembled? You're telling me that Ricky Ponting has no say? तो इतने सारे runs, इतने सारे achievements और trophies के बावजूद आप ऐसे फालतू टीम चूज करते हो. We can talk about Australia and all, but it seems like there's a reason why Mumbai and CSK have won it. There's a reason why the moment that Gautam Gambhir's name is taken, Shini all of a sudden switches on and says, there's a guy. Because he only won it twice, but in those 12 and 14 trophies, look at the way Gautam Gambhir, आज के दिन अगर वो फील्ड पे होते और धोनी बैटिंग करके आते, वो 6 फील्डर लगा लेते. He knows how to get inside your head. Delhi lacked that. Rajasthan Royals are a great team, but they lack that. You have to have a certain killer instinct, which I just don't think Shane Watson didn't have it. Praveen Amre didn't have it. Saurav Ganguly certainly doesn't have it. And I think as a coach or a man manager, Ricky Ponting doesn't have it.
Okay. Next one, please.
One small thing to add here
Sure.
is in parts you're already noticing this in IPL. It's happening already. It's just that it's not become so blatant yet because nobody's speaking about it loudly. Accountability, that word, is becoming a major thing already behind the scenes. So आप देखो जिस तरीके से swift changes are being done in certain franchises. आप unemotionally आप decisions ले रहे हो. Captaincy changes, coaching changes. This is kind of now going to become, see, stakes are going to become higher and higher, get higher and higher going forward. And once that begins to happen, accountability is a one word this is going to go, if this is properly going into that club sport mode, then it is going to go the football way, where managers live a life with a sword always hanging around their neck.
True. Okay. Next one, please. Yeah, Srini sir, how will Gautam Gambhir, Chandrakant Pandit, and Shreyas Iyer get along? All three seem strong-headed. Franch is asking.
Chandrakant Pandit has to take a step aside. Like Gautam Gambhir, Chandrakant Pandit है, आप tactical back end tactics आप देखिए, आपको local players समझते हैं, आपको है, but at some point, where you have to kind of put a franchise 11 in place, where you have a mix of overseas cricketers, what what is required at that level, temperament levels, what is required to win a title in a tournament like this, in T20 particularly. Gautam has been there, done that. He's been there he's done it with the Indian team, he's done it with the franchise. A very big name.
And Srini,
So
if you remember the initial stage of the last IPL when they didn't have Shreyas Iyer when it was officially announced, KKR were all at sea. They had no idea what was happening in the first 3-4 games.
but if you notice, ever since Gautam left KKR, they've always been at sea. वो
Yeah.
जैसे जैसे वो पकड़ के चल रहे थे, कोई एक प्लेयर अगर चल गया, लॉटरी लेके निकाल दिया उनको, so that was about it. But beyond that, they were always struggling, and that is why I can tell you that in KKR right now, Mr. Shah Rukh Khan and his team are pushing for certain changes, which you will get to see in some time from now. But these changes are necessary, and that's why the first of that change was to get Gautam Gambhir back. And they knew that cricket had taken a beating and they needed to set it right, which is what KKR did in 2011, 2010. When they got Gautam, they knew that was nowhere in their list of top priorities. The franchise at that time was so much about Bollywood movies, because of Mr. Shah Rukh Khan's presence. So they had to make that change, and Gautam coming there took the focus away from the so-called movie, this thing, and brought the focus on cricket. and they understand what he brings to the table. So that is based on that is why they have brought him back. So you will
Yeah.
see a lot of changes here. Yeah.
Okay. Okay. Next one, please. Ravi Shankar, Shreyas Iyer is now a paper captain. Gambhir is now the real captain of KKR. JB.
I mean, he's a far more capable leader. I will say that. But if his presence was so important, I think LSG would have won two titles, and definitely those embarrassing, pathetic scenes which we saw between them and RCB would not have been played out. Full
Transpired.
credit to him, but he needs to curb his enthusiasm sometimes. Gautam Gambhir.
Okay. Next one, please. In World Cup, Eden was pitting Venom. I can see a similar type of pitch this season to propel KKR spin attack introspective saying, Kanav.
No, I guess in IPLs you have more or less same kind of pitches across the country because you need runs, you need to put up a show. So it is a slightly more batter friendly. But yeah, if they get wickets like what they got in the World Cup, which was I think to a very extreme end, जो हमने South Africa और Australia का जो semi-final देखा था, I don't think that sort of a pitch you will see in an IPL. IPL is more high scoring pitches so that the fans can be entertained. This is a medium of entertainment for the fans. So I don't believe those sort of wickets we'll get to see. अगर हो गई फिर तो obviously a lottery for KKR with the kind of spin attack that they have.
Yeah. Okay. Next one, please. Kumar Kushak should be blooded in. He might be a bright prospect. Should keep before Pant find its comfortable views. Shrini, he's asking, can Kumar Kushak play ahead of Rishabh Pant as a keeper, as in not ahead of him as a keeper, and Pant be there as a batter?
Whoever plays, but I doubt Pant is going to keep wickets for the entire season. वो नहीं हो रहा है. You may even see Pant at times, kind of see, people are thoda sa not understanding this. Pant's comeback doesn't really mean that Pant is like going to be at the forefront of this team and lead. Pant's comeback also means a lot of other things. The build up for the series and how they are marketing themselves for the year. Beyond that, time will tell how he makes a comeback. I've not seen him. I've not seen a, a practice session. I've not seen anything of him yet. ये जो इंस्टाग्राम पे लोग रील्स बना के डाल रहे हैं बस वही देख रहा हूँ मैं. वो भी कोई फॉरवर्ड कर देता है गलती से तो. और इसके अलावा आई हैव नॉट सीन एनीथिंग ऑफ ऋषभ. सो क्लोजर टू द वंस आई सी हिम ऑन द फील्ड इज ओनली व्हेन आई एम गोइंग टू गेट एन आइडिया.
And you're actually right. Game situation is totally different ball game. मतलब उस समय का situation वो एक बहुत बहुत different होता है जब आपके साथ में crowd है. ठीक है, he's played a lot of cricket, लेकिन एक कहीं ना कहीं वो to get into that groove a player needs a time.
100%. Yeah, I mean this is you coming right up to the top form.
Yeah,
ऐसा नहीं कि
exactly.
आप कोई लोकल मैच में आप वापस कम बैक कर रहे हो. यू मेकिंग इन अ प्रॉपर प्रोफेशनल टूर्नामेंट. द स्टेक्स आर गोइंग टू बी हाई. So obviously you got to wait and watch.
Yeah. Okay, next one, please. Pranshul, Jamie, I don't see both KKR and DC making playoffs. Looks average mid-table finish.
Absolutely. Look, the fact that KKR are still dependent on Andre Russell, and I've said this now for 3 years across different. I feel like I'm saying it again. He's one slide a third man away from being out of the tournament. With his knees are so dodgy. How those are 12 वाले stars को आप अभी भी खिला रहे हो? No disrespect, they're all-time greats, but you don't win titles in these days with guys who are. When was Narayan's last good season? नहीं है यार. एंड्रे रसल कब चला? अभी वो 14 में से 2 मैच में चलेंगे. आप माफी चाहूंगा लेकिन आपको ऐसे प्लेयर से टाइटल तो नहीं जीतेंगे आप. तो the fact that they're still around, and I hope when Shini says that Shahrukh and more than Shahrukh, I think Venki Mysore, he's the brains behind the whole setup. I hope their plans include offloading these two guys because 2012 में ये आपके टाइटल विनर्स थे यार. 24 में कैसे ये आपको टाइटल जिताएंगे? So yes, Priyanshu, I don't see them going beyond 6 each. The two franchises, yeah.
Yeah. And
देख लो,
right,
आ भी गया comment उस पे.
Yeah. If with all due respect to Narayan and Russell, if KKR would have got rid of them, you would have had a lot of options to get someone
Absolutely.
into, or probably they were thinking about the mega auctions. That is the logic I can make out right now. कि ठीक है, release करेंगे, they'll have a more budget, like more budget in the purse. We could get some other players, some other overseas players, informed players. So that's the only point. That's the only logic I can make out of this.
I
Next one,
don't see
please.
them coming back in 25. No.
Yeah, true. Jason, I believe Stark could be switched in few games depending on pitches and opposition, irrespective of the price tag pressure, and we can expect that from GG. Jason भाई, प्राइस टैग का प्रेशर उन पे नहीं टीम पे है जितना पैसा उन्होंने दे दिया है. But Kana, what do you have to say about this?
No, I don't see Mitchell Stark being left out unless obviously there's a niggle, there's an injury. Because Australian players, whenever they feel that their body is maybe not full, especially with World Cup coming right after the IPL, they can themselves come out and say, "Yeah, I think I need to miss a match or two." But I don't think KKR will deliberately ask Stark to sit out based on the condition of pitch conditions or the opposition.
True. Next one, please. Should Shreyas play all matches with such back problems as there are heavy chances of breakdown? Suryansh, Srini, I would like you to take this. But before that, वो तो पहले मैच में भी हो सकता है ना? That is some
Back
match
problem.
number specific. Yeah.
But back problem है क्या? मैं तो वही पूछ रहा हूँ. मैं तो कब
DIG
की
है किधर?
मतलब एक दिन मैं पढ़ता हूँ कि बैक प्रॉब्लम है, दूसरे दिन मैं पढ़ता हूँ कि सेलेक्टर्स ने गो हेड दे दिया है, तीसरे दिन मैं पढ़ता हूँ एनसीए बोल रहा है कुछ नहीं है, चौथे दिन फिर पढ़ता हूँ बैक फ्लेड अप. एक 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 आदमी से सुन लूँ ना मैं. तो अगर बैक प्रॉब्लम है तो वो नेट्स में नहीं होने चाहिए. तो अगर हाफ फिट है तो गौतम गंभीर तो नीतीश राणा को कल कप्तानी दे देंगे. अगर वो हाफ फिट है, वो फिट तो है तभी वो कप्तानी कर रहे हैं.
Exactly. Okay, last 3 questions. Priyanshu, these big bash stars are completely flop in IPL. They do well in Perth-like pitches with zero field movement. Don't know why franchises don't understand this. I guess Priyanshu, Jamie has, categorically described this कि वो BBL के जो stars हैं, यहाँ पे आके situation change हो जाता है, इसलिए कहीं ना कहीं वो थोड़ा सा difference आता है. And yes, I do agree to what you are saying कि franchises को वो point consider करना चाहिए. I don't know why. Jamie, just make me understand. ये क्यों नहीं होता ऐसा? नहीं. और फ्रेंचाइजीज में जो मैनेजमेंट में लोग बैठे हैं यार, वो वर्ल्ड कप विनर्स और दे प्लेड वर्ल्ड कप्स, नॉट जस्ट मैचेस फॉर देयर कंट्रीज. वर्ल्ड कप खेले यार उन लोगों ने, बहुतों ने.
I don't know. I mean, Srini is probably far more qualified to talk about backroom things. It almost seems like certain franchises have a budget, black को white करना है, किसी को खरीद लो, पुताई कर लो दीवार की, नया है. But I just don't get it. I mean, like, how have RCB not won a title in 16 years? Right? It's just like, and they make the same mistakes. And people actually expect इस साल, अरे वो women's team बहुत different है यार. That team is going to finish 6th. Your Glenn Maxwell is your only spinner. Just come out and say, we're here for a business. We're here to take your money, take you for a ride. We're not serious. Because teams like RCB and DC, they don't look like they're here to actually, it might be some business transaction, Srini. Please tell me. They don't have cricketing acumen. I mean, despite having Pontings and Sanjay Bangar, whatever, he's one of the brightest minds. But when he goes there, I mean, Finn Allen, आपने Finn Allen को लेकर आपको पता नहीं कि बंदे को कहाँ खिलाना है. Finn Allen should have played every single match. आपने Zampa को जाने दिया. Why did Kyle Jamieson play one season as 15 crores? Because he got Virat Kohli's wicket 3 times. इसको लाओ. ये thinking है तुम्हारी. So it's, आज हम बात कर रहे हैं KKR DC की. There's a reason Rohit Sharma and Mumbai and that juggernaut are where they are and where Dhoni and the CS. You have to stick loyal to players. RCB throw out players the more than the late great Rishi Kapoor changed sweaters in a Bollywood song. अब आपको franchise जीतना ऐसे team से नहीं होगा यार. So my favorites this year are CSK once again. Call them Dad's Army, call them Granddad's Army. That team, as long as MS Dhoni is there, will do something. Beyond that, I mean, I don't know. It's just, how do you have such bad auctions time and time again? Yeah.
Yeah. Okay. Next one, please. Jamie Lol.
क्या करे यार, जज्बात निकल जाता है कभी-कभी बाहर यार.
But that वो ऋषि कपूर के स्वेटर वाला इंस्टेंस अच्छा था. That was good. Update on Surya and Bumrah joining MI squad. Srini. Surya is officially out of the first game. Let's see.
Who's out of the first game?
Surya.
Is it? Okay.
This is what I've heard. Yeah. That's what I've heard.
Report.
Okay.
Reports, yeah.
Okay. No, I didn't follow it.
Karthik, will there be any negative reaction of fan on 199? Oh, क्यों? I mean, we shouldn't even get to that. I mean, क्यों होंगे negative reactions यार? He's been a part of Mumbai Indians. He's been a very important part of Mumbai Indians. और ये transitions तो आते हैं. So I don't think we should refrain from asking these kind of questions. Well, it's going to be a very interesting season. I feel, I suppose, especially DC और KKR जैसी teams के लिए, जहाँ पे you will hear after this season Rishabh Pant is going to CSK, Jamie Water. Okay, Ravi Shankar. Next season के ये season अभी start होने दीजिए. Okay, so I was saying कि DC और KKR जैसी टीम्स के लिए बहुत इंटरेस्टिंग होने वाला है, क्योंकि वो 11 बनाना बहुत डिफिकल्ट है, बिकॉज किसी के पास ऑप्शंस ज़्यादा हैं, किसी के पास ऑप्शंस बिल्कुल भी नहीं है. तो इट्स गोइंग टू बी वेरी इंटरेस्टिंग टू सी. वेल, थैंक यू जेंटलमैन फॉर जॉइनिंग मी इन दिस सेशन. दोबारा मिलेंगे, दोबारा बात करेंगे आईपीएल के बारे में और इंडियन क्रिकेट के बारे में. बाय बाय, थैंक यू, शुक्रिया, शबा खैर.
फास्टेस्ट क्रिकेट स्कोर अपडेट्स या सबसे डिटेल्ड स्टैट्स,
क्रिकेट के अंदर बाहर की खबरें
या हेल्दी डिबेट्स,
सबसे एक्यूरेट एनालिसिस
या फैंस का क्रेज, सबके लिए एक ही प्लेटफॉर्म, क्योंकि क्रिकेट मतलब क्रिकेट नेक्स्ट.